Hi guys. Here we are today talking about plotting points in the coordinate plane. And we're going to start off, you probably have done this in other classes before, but I do still want you taking notes, so make sure you have paper, pencil, pause if you need to go get it. Okay, so we're here and you'll notice that we have a number line on our page, and you may be thinking, like, a number line, why do we need a number line? We already know about the number line. If I wanted to plot a point 3 on the number line, there it is. Or if I wanted to plot the point -4 or 0 or 1.5, I could plot those points no problem. And you could. But here is the new thing. What if we took this number line, actually physically picked it up, and rotated it 90 degrees? Do you know what we would get? We would get another number line, a new number line. And now that we have two number lines, we need to name these number lines. I'm going to name this number line X, and I'm going to name this number line Y. And the phrase number line is kind of a long word. So instead of number line, I'm going to call this the X axis, and I'm going to call this the Y axis. So now we have two axes. And remember how I picked this up and rotated it? So all the numbers that I had over here, I will also have over here. And so we can call this one 1, and this 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this 0, it rotated 90 degrees. It didn't actually go anywhere, so that's also 0 on the X and the Y. And as I move on down here, I am going to have -1 right here, -2, -3, -4, 0. So I could plot points here like 4, but I can also plot points on the y-axis. And not only that, I can plot points over here, like I could plot the point 5, 4 right there. So let's talk through some of these points and how we do that. So if I want to, I can plot the point 5, 4, over 5, up 4, over 5 on my X, and up 4 on my Y. 5 represents how far I go over, 4 represents how far I go up. I could plot the point -1, up 2. There's the point -1, 2. If I wanted to, I could still plot a point on my x-axis. I would just have to say, hey, you're not going anywhere up on my y. If I wanted to plot the point -4, I would say -4, 0, over 4 and up 0. But you may also notice I could go down if I wanted to. I could go back 2 and down 3. That would be the point -2, 3. And so maybe you're noticing, like, oh, the points in this little box that has been created, the points over in this box, those are positive, like positive, go over positive, up positive. Maybe you're noticing that all of the numbers in this little box are going to be positive and positive. And all of the numbers in this little box are going to be negative and then positive. I go back and then up. And all of the numbers in this box down here are going to be negative and negative. I go back 3 and down 4. -3, -4. Oops, and I should have had a little negative right there. What do you think the points in this box will be? They will be positive, negative. I go over 5 and maybe down 3. +5, down 3. So you're noticing perhaps that there's a special relationship between all the points in each little box. And wouldn't it be nice if we had a way to name these boxes? Well, we do. we call them quadrants. Quad kind of meaning four, like we're breaking it up into four pieces. And so this quadrant, the positive positive, is called quadrant 1. Anything that was in this space when I rotated it is quadrant 1. Now, because we rotated it 90 degrees counterclockwise, we're going to keep going that way. So this would be quadrant 2. And to help us avoid getting confused with the numerals here and the quadrant numbers, we're going to use Roman numerals. So there's quadrant 2. This is quadrant 3. Using a Roman numeral, and quadrant 4. It's like 5 take away 1, quadrant 4 IV. Okay, so here we have quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Now, there's a special name that we give for the point that's right here. It's sort of like our starting point. It's where we begin. And so we call it the origin. It's the point 0, 0. 0, 0, over 0 on the x and up 0 on the y, and that is called the origin. The origin. Okay, let me highlight that in a pretty color. So I have the point 0, 0, 0, 0, the origin. Now, if you're wondering where we might use this, so anytime we're trying to understand visually a relationship, a mathematical relationship between two quantities, a graph is a really great way to see it, how fast it's either increasing or decreasing. We're also, if you're into animation and you want to be an animator, all the programs that they use the coordinate plane so you can imagine an object in space. And that's actually how René Descartes, the philosopher and mathematician who created the coordinate plane, also named after him, the Cartesian plane, that's how he thought about this as movement up, over, and also forward or backward. And we haven't, we'll get to 3 dimensions, probably not in this class, but it is an interesting thing. Okay, so I think that covers everything. We've got our x-axis and our y-axis. We've got our different quadrants, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We've got the points in each quadrant. In quadrant 1, they're positive, positive. In quadrant 2, they're negative, positive. In quadrant 3, they're negative, negative. In quadrant 4, they're positive, negative. We've got the origin right here at the point 0, 0. And we now have an idea of how to plot points, although perhaps you already knew. You go over first vertically, think of that first number as you're graphing the number line, and then 4 as our new vertical space.